Welcome to this beautiful platform. We are talking to young women who are determined to change their communities. These wonderful young women have started their own initiatives with nothing but aiming to change their communities. Through determination and proper mentorship, we believe that they are going far.
Every woman deserves to be in a peaceful and a secure space.
Women are socialized to have different roles.
Any action that you do, you must be ready to pay the price.
They have commercialized our bodies in every aspect of life.
You're beautiful before even a man tells you that.
Hello viewers, karibu sana to the Passing the Baton podcast. This is where we speak anything women. Think of sports, think of finances, think of jobs, think of women in tech. We are the right people to watch, yeah? So today on this panel, I have amazing ladies with me. We will just be having a candid conversation with them on sports. Have you heard of women in sports? Yeah, I'm also keen to just hear from them where we were, where we are, and where we are headed. So karibuni sana to my panelists. I will start from our young girl to just introduce herself and tell us who she is. Yes, karibu.
Hi viewers, my name is Stacey Akinyi. I'm a student at Multimedia University pursuing Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Computer Science. I'm an SRH champion and advocate. I'm a mentor also at Polycom Dance, and I'm a climate action activist, and I'm also a sports person. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And did you realize I'm telling them to introduce themselves because I'll definitely do a disservice in introducing these women because they are a powerhouse. So moving on to our wise woman of the episode, please tell us who you are.
Greetings viewers. My name is Dorothy Muga. I sit here as a mentor, as a counselor, as a sports person. In counseling, I major in HIV and AIDS. In mentorship, I am with the girls right now, girls and women, but my heart bleeds for the boys, and I hope to get to that space sooner or later. I am a retired customer relations officer in one parastatal, government parastatal. And in sports, I still sit in the panel of hockey as a technical official, both locally and globally. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On to our last panelist.
Hello everyone, my name is Hilda Mbero. I'm a director of BRIFAN, that is Bright Future Advocacy Network. The organization is located in the rural settlement that is in Saya County. I'm a SRHR advocate, I'm a GBV champion, and also a climate change champion, and also a mentor. I mentor adolescent girls. And I'm a former games captain back in high school. And yeah, today we are talking about sport, and you're gonna hear from us.
And maybe just to even put it across, this is an intergenerational sitting or setup. And so we just want to hear from our wise lady. How was it then from the ladies who are in it now? How is it now? And where are we headed? So I'll just pass it back again to our wise lady of the day. Tell us, how was it then back then? How did you find yourself in sports? Was it something you grew up knowing I must be in sports, or it's something that life just threw a curveball at you? Is it really a curveball, but life just threw it at you and you took it and ran with it? Yeah.
Thank you. Growing up, we used to run as children. And when you run and you're the fastest and it's exciting and go. And so when I went to school, I started sports as far as I can't remember. And I found myself going to the regionals and then to the nationals. And then there I saw a talent in me, or there a talent was spotted in me. So in my primary and high school and young adult, I was an athlete. I've been an athlete in the national team. I have run for Kenya. And then along the way, things happened, babies came. I stopped for a while. And then hockey was introduced I also played hockey in primary school. I was privileged to go to a school where I could play hockey in primary and into secondary school. And then later, ladies hockey was introduced when I was already a mother of two. And I got into it full throttle. And I also played for a club which is a top club to date. I believe I am one of the people who set it rolling to where it is today. I have played for the national team. And eventually, I officiate now. Mm-hmm. I sit at a panel where I am a technical official. As an umpire, as an official in hockey, there is the umpire and there is the technical official. Mm-hmm. So I am a technical official here in Kenya for Africa and for FIH, and the FIH is the world body for hockey.
Impressive. And so now to our young girl, you are standing on the shoulders of Mom Dorothy. What do you have to say about sports now? Because I know you're passionate about sports, and I want to assume you've done your research back then in the sports. What do you think is the disparity between sports then and now? Yeah.
Thank you, Marlene, for the wonderful question. I major in football. I play number 11. The disparity of sports then and now is like this. In the past, the society had not accepted the fact that the female gender can also take part in sports. They're like the female are meant to work at home, take care of the kids, have family, take care of the families. But as at now, they have accepted the fact and they are trying to support us in either way they can. Another thing to put note on is in the past, let's say the male World Cup championship, it was the matches that were recorded were mostly the men part, but we found that even female were taking part in the championships, but more light in the matches, and the light was not shown on the female part. But as at now, they are trying to also shower some light and also support female, showcasing the matches that are recorded also for the female part. So there is a disparity in there. And we thank that effort.
Awesome. So, Ma'am Dorothy, she has mentioned something very profound on the ratio of men to women back then, and she's also cited on then. If you look at the archives back then in the sports, that the only documented sports would be that of men and not of women. How was it? Was it you've done sports from your very childhood early years? Was it an easy thing to just go into sports, or you were told, maybe wewe ni mbona unacheza michezo za kiwanaume and all that? Just tell us, how was it?
Thank you, Marlene. It is true what my young girl has just said. I am glad to have lived in many generations, from the analog to the digital. I mean, it's a pleasure to know stuff that if I there is something which if I showed you today, you wouldn't know how to use it, but we used it then, and we know how it has transformed to now. Well, going back to sports, gender disparity was and still is. I mean, let's talk about athletics. Anytime a team travels, we have more male than female. Why? And yet the disciplines are all the same, because if it is 100 meters, we have 100 meters for men and women, and so on and so forth. But why do we have more male traveling than women? Yes, it was, and to some extent it still is today. But here we are trying to have both of us, both the male and the female, on the same pedestal. We have, short of saying not being heard, gender discrimination is also there. both in as the athlete and as official. It was, but it's getting better now. If, for example, you look at soccer, there before, I mean, it was unheard of in Kenya here that we would have a women's soccer team. But today, the starlets, they are also getting audience from the would-be officials, I mean, in the government, let me say so. So they're getting the attention and they're performing well. It's not a matter of not performing well. It is a matter of giving them the space. And yes, they are, and they prove that they are good enough. That, I guess, we have seen. And especially in soccer, where for a long time, the team was there, the players were there, but they were not given the right forum, so to say. Yeah.
Okay. And so, Hilda, even as you listen to this conversation, it's not that there were no women who wanted to play sports. So why do you think it was such a tussle for women to be allowed into spaces of sports? What are the stereotypes around women? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll thank you, Marlene. I'll talk from experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back then, I'll talk from experience from my past life. You know, back then, we were not being given that opportunity. If you want to do sports, you are being told you are just a girl. You are going now with that sport. Yet, you have a passion. I want to be a footballer. And yet, we didn't even have role models, female role models that are doing sports, because they see it as something that is not even, something that will not work, because women were just given that thing that their work is just to take care of kids, give birth. But I can proudly say that now we are somewhere. If you even look at the Harambee Starlets, at least now we have girls that were very passionate about sports, and they're somewhere now. So I think lack of support also from the community members, from the family members, because they saw us that they see that girls are not, this is a word I'm trying to look, not important, or sport is not important for women. So we lacked role models who can mentor us to be where we want. We also lack of resources and even equipment, because boys were being given the first priority. So my past life, I really wanted to be a big footballer. And I've been in sports since primary, since class 1. And I was the school games captain from primary and then to high school.
Wow, impressive.
And I can proudly say in my high school, I brought so many trophies. That is in Riley Education Center. And even if you call my principal, he will say that Hilda did something great.
Awesome.
So I think the support from the community members, the lack of resources, and also the role models, people who can mentor us to be somewhere, I think those are the main challenges that we went through. Yeah.
Awesome. I think first, before we even end this episode, we need a ball here for this amazing athletes to just do some, wanasemanga nini, kupepeta kidogo. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. It's beautiful how we are saying there's so much tangible change in matters women being in sports today. Why would it be that mtu anakuambia you're just a girl, don't play sports? And also maybe another question I'd pose to you. Are there advantages to being in sports? And maybe also, Ma'am Dorothy, you can just put this in your parking lot. You are a mental health champion. How does sports play into that? Yes. So Hilda, and then back to Ma'am Dorothy.
As I said earlier, lack of support. You know, people believed that girls and sports are not one thing. They're not going hand in hand.
Okay.
You know? And there's this thing that they said that not really they said that girls or women, their work is just to give birth. They were not empowered back then. But at least now we are empowered and we know our rights. I know I have a right to play. I know I have a right to play football. I can speak up for myself, you know. So those are the challenges. And I can now say that even when we are in sports, there's leadership aspect that when you are in sport, we'll gain some leadership skills and also life skills. And, you know, sport will help you be physically fit as a woman. You can live longer, you know. So sport is just important, or it's okay for all of us.
Amazing. I think what's maybe just a rhetorical question would be, why is it that when a man is playing, they're cheered up, like, yeah, go you, go you. But then when now it's a lady, now all of a sudden, you are just a girl, and all of a sudden you just need to give birth and do what women do. But just seeing the success we've had, especially the starlets. I've had starlets come out so hugely. And now just back to you, Ma'am Dorothy. Mental health and sports, marry the two for us.
Well, there is the old saying, the age-old adage that the best place for a woman is the kitchen, you see. And so growing up, your daddy knows that, I mean, you will finish, get to high school the most you can, get married, you know, have cows come home and, you know, take care of your family and bring up, you know. But no, that is a no. It was a no then, but today we stand firm and say that no. Regarding mental health, sport is something I have learned over time. Personally, and when I look around, I see that women involved in sports keep away from or are less mischievous because and what we have encouraged over time is that it is not a sport alone, it is a sport and brains. And so when you're into books and from your books you get into sports, you have no time for mischief. And so it keeps you alert. Your social circles are, I mean, you're a sports person, you're not a fan. So there's the difference between a sports person and a fan. So you are more focused, you are more upright, so to say, and I'm talking from experience. Yeah. I have seen how it has played with my brain. And yes, that. What was the next question?
No, we just wanted you to, maybe I can throw in another question to just redirect you back to the previous question. Okay, no problem. So, mental health. I've had so many, is it Generation X? Saying that we've over commercialized mental health. Was it a thing back then that you'd come up to your mother and say, hey, me, I'm playing sports because as I'm playing this, I'm just debunking my mind, or I am doing a mind dump of watakuambia wewe uko na stress gani, ama they would actually come back to you and say, you know, Dorothy, this is very important for you. Go ahead. We got your back. Yeah.
Well, then, talking of a depressed child was a no-no. I mean, how does a kid go down in depression or something like that? But I have learned over time that even small children die of depression. It was something that we were oblivious about. It was some naivety. It was some sort of ignorance. But today we know it. Yes, and then your mom would tell you that you're wasting a lot of time in sports, and you would not get back to her. Probably I also did not have the knowledge that it's there's something about it with my mental life, you know. But over time, I have learned that, yes, I can impart it. Even to parents who to date still do not understand why a child is wasting time in sports. But you don't waste time in sports. The two go hand in hand. Sports and books, they go hand in hand. And we encourage that you do not just concentrate on sports, because if you break a leg today, that paying sports will not pay you. So you have to have books to pay you. And so we also have mentors coming to those spaces to counsel with the people. We have had some sports, I will mention sports like rugby. They encourage and even support the players to go to school while they're doing it, because they know that sports will age, but books will not age.
So good. Hilda, you wanted to add on something before we proceed?
Yeah,
Yes, sure.
I wanted to add something.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, that I used to be a very good footballer, or in primary we used to play various games, football, netball,
Yes.
volleyball.
Mhm.
So I used to play all of them.
Yeah.
And I'll still say that lack of support from the community, even from the schools, even the teachers themselves, didn't give us that support.
So if I'm getting something, your parents can support you, but then the bigger congregation will say no, and you take
Even
a
the
back.
parents, even the
Okay.
parents, some of them were not supportive. So, our African moms or African parents will just tell you that you love playing or you like playing and yet you're not performing. That is also
derailing.
Yeah, so ukiwambia like I'm going today, we are going to play somewhere, and then she will tell you, you are telling me you love sports. What about books?
Okay.
So you will come to understand that our parents will not also give you that support. They will just look at your performance. And I remember one day I was to go play somewhere, and my mom refused because she didn't want me to go. And also there's also this thing of sexual harassment. You're being sexually harassed from the coaches, from the teachers. So Pia, that one is also diminishing you from performing your duty as a sport person.
I stand accused there because I was a sports person, and I did athletics to the national level, and we would go to the East and Central African. And to my parents, it was like, whatever. And then came my turn when my son was into sports. And we had an argument not so long ago, and he would ask me, why I never used to support him, why I didn't. But to me, it wasn't like I should have been there with the cheering squad. He's there, he's doing his good thing. Why would I be there? And so later on, when you go global and you see parents bringing their children, and the support, the support team is majorly from the family. And so that yes, was a setback. It shouldn't be now. It was, but to us it was natural. I did my sports, I went, I came back, you're doing your sports, go and come back. And to me, I thought I was better to him because I didn't stop him. But to my parents, it was like, yes, you are not performing, but you want to go for sports. So they have to go hand in hand. And to them, you have to be an A student. BC. But I saw it in my dad that in athletics, when we had weekend meets. So after every weekend meeting, there would be, the report is, we'd have it on the sports page. So 100 meters, Dimuga. Long jump, Dimuga. And he'd circle and he shows his colleagues in the office.
Yeah.
But that was his pride. But coming home to give me the pat on the back was, no, it's not African.
Yeah.
So how do I do that? And so I passed it on to my son. But today it's different.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. But even then, I now understand that it played a big role on my mental health aspect.
Awesome.
Yes.
Now back to our young lady who is in it right now. Is sports equally important to your mom as education? Have you gotten to places where your mom is like, hapana, when your sports, you are going to school? Mm-hmm.
I'll say it has gotten to that point at some point when like when I tell her, Mom, on Saturday I have to go for a game in Kayole, I have another one in Kibera, and then I have another one at MMU, and then she's like, Stacy, you know you have younger siblings here at home, and then also you have your school, and then you want to go to all those places. Are they paying you? What are you getting from that? And then she's like, oh, and then I'm telling her, Mom, I just have to play because my mental health is in it right now because I can't be in school and also I'm not like, you see the sports aspects bring the opening of the mind, the widening of the knowledge and understanding because of the exercise, and also it loses, what is it called, stress. You get relieved, you think straight. And then I'm telling her this and then she's like, okay, it's all on you. Then I just do my thing. I go play, then I come back at home, do my chores and study.
Awesome.
And she's just okay with that.
Awesome. So you've mentioned something. Okay. Have you ever gone to your mom and you're like, hey, me, my mental health is priority. Iyo ingine weka kando. Do you think we've gotten to that place? Yes, there's so much, how can I put it? There's so much, like we've taken a step as women. We are not where we want to be, but we've taken a step, especially matters mental health. And I know tunaambiwanga when you come for the training, you go teach the next person. Have you sat your mom down and you're like, so this is what mental health is? Maybe you're not even playing football. Maybe for her, it's even dancing. Have you been in that place where, because sometimes it's okay as parents to be like, that is not working because that's what they've lived with. Ilea, it didn't work with us then. Why should it work with you guys right now? Have you got into that place of just unpacking it with her?
Yeah. Actually, my mom used to play football before she became a parent. Yeah, when she was in high school, she was the sports icon. And she understands, actually, because let's say like everyone, the firstborn, me and my brother, we are all into sports, football. And then my sister shifted to handball, of which my mom understands some of the things. She can relate. So for me, it's much easier to sit her down to tell her, Mom, I need to go to training. Just feel like I want to do some exercise. I feel like running. And then she gets it because she was denied the chance to play after becoming a parent. Or she was denied the chance to play. So like she feels that if she didn't get the chance to continue, because she was in the past when let's say you proceed to the regional level, it was a big thing. So for her, she was almost to that level, and then after getting married at a young age, she stopped playing. So for her, it was such a big loss. So she wants to see it in her children. So she won't deny the chance. But to other parents who have not experienced the sports part, it may be hard for a child to approach the parent because they won't relate. They'll just say, in my days, we didn't play, so why should you play? But it takes courage to speak to your parent.
Awesome. I love that your mom is the matchstick and you're the candle. And so what do you, there's something you mentioned about your mom asked you, are they paying you? Now we want to hear from you guys. Does sports pay? Like if you're to defend it, 10 marks, defend it. Where do we start? Maybe we start from Mam Doro. Tell us, does sports pay? Like mtu maybe atakuwa pale ana view, they're like, okay, sawa, we will play sports. And then does my bread, when I'm going to buy bread, I'm like, here's exposure. I went and played so and so this place. Yeah.
No.
Ooh.
It is more for or in the passion. It's more for the passion. Locally, no. We have sports. It's allowances, and we have those sports that they talk about paying professional. And I will mention soccer, but where are they at? At the end of the day, players come out that there is an arrears of 9, 10, 12 months. Is that something that is worth dying for? And so at the end of the day, it is just the passion that somebody has in whatever it is. But so far in our country, we will not talk about pay. Even as far as golf, they go there because they love the sports, and there's the little gifts here and there, an allowance, but it is not something that you will sit back and say that sport is paying my rent and my bills and my school fees. No, it doesn't. Not so far. We hope one day we'll get there.
Awesome. Hilda?
Personally, I've never been paid. That's why I don't want to say I dropped, because I remember immediately after finishing high school, I joined a football club, and it was really taking my time. You have to go for the training, and yet you have to. So balancing school and training was really hard for me. So I had to drop. I've never gotten anything from sports, though I'm so passionate. Even today, some of my friends are still calling me to go play for them. Even back in high school, there's a teacher, he called me to go train the ladies, but I didn't go.
I hear you. Yes, Stacy. Have you ever been paid?
For matches, the coach buys for us lunch. So there's lunch. And then in university, when I joined, I had that you get allowance of 300 Kenya shillings per match. But as at now, I've played 2 matches and I've gotten nothing. And then they're like, you cannot get the money until you register for the units. And then like, okay, we have not registered. The school portal has issues. And then you've not registered. You've already played the matches. You've gone to training. And some people have not even been paid for more than 10 matches. And they're claiming the money is there. But when I was starting the football, I had a coach. He used to also take us to watch the national games at the Kasarani Stadium. My first time he took us there. It was a good one. When I was... Actually, that is what motivated me to continue staying in football, because like my coach will bring visitors, they give us jerseys and training gears. It was an encouragement at that time. And when I proceeded to the high school level and also to the university level, I just say that I cannot be here because of money, because when it's not there, I won't play. So I just say that as at now, let me play according to the passion I have for this football. Because even if it's not paying me, I know that my mental health, my fitness is there. So, yeah.
Starstruck. Because we hear of funding that is directed towards sports. So what's the call to action to, Madam Dero, maybe you'll direct this. I don't know who this question is actually posed to in the government, because we know there's funding that is being disbursed every year for sports. What do you have to say? You're an official, you've done sports for how many years? Maybe you'll tell us. Like, how do we, because this is something someone is giving of their time into. Yes, my mental health is thriving. Yes, all that. But we are going to, we are representing Kenya. So what's a call to action? Yeah.
Well, sport is awesome. It is something that a sportsman, woman will swear that you will never see me there again, and next week you see them there. So it is something that it's on your skin. You can't shed it off. But talking about that, I do not want to talk, and then when I step out, I see a Subaru waiting for me there. I mean, the funds are there, yes. Yeah. But who am I to know who is to give us the funds? Because many a times we have had disciplines having to go for some international tournaments, regional tournaments, and up to the last minute, they're waiting for funds. And the government is always like, we do not have funds. So where are these funds? If the government does not have the funds, then who has the funds? And so I will not name names, I will not point fingers, but when and if, yes, there are times that, it has come like, God sent, last minute, and a club gets funding, a discipline gets funding. But sometimes they're disappointed. We have seen, let me just mention some things that have been there. The soccer team, the special soccer team that had to sleep, somewhere, the country there had to improvise, bring them blankets. You saw that in the press the other time. And it's not a one-time thing. It's not a two-time. One time Harambee Stars were flown somewhere there was a joke that the plane didn't have seats. And so we being the sports persons, we do not give up easily in and out of a pitch or the track. But the challenge as far as funds are concerned, I do not know when our savior or who our savior will be. But yes, there are times we've had persons, CSs or cabinet ministers who've been there who are interested in sports. You will notice are different. When you have a CS, we call them CS now, who is interested, then you will see some flow. You will hear sports around you. But when you have one who is not, maybe they are interested, but they are not aware of what is going on around, that is when sports, goes kind of down unless people are supporting themselves. Because there are some sports, I would say, some disciplines like maybe chess, swimming, the associations fundraise and enable their sports people to go. But there are some that the fundraising becomes, like soccer. Soccer is year in, year out, month in, month out. You can't, for how long are you going to fundraise? And you're fundraising from the same persons, So we're still here. We love the sport. We swear we will not come back. We will come back, but
next minute
we pray for breakthroughs.
Yeah,
we always praying for breakthroughs. Yeah, because our discipline will train and train so hard, headed for a championship, and then at the end of the day, there's no funding for them to travel.
I think that is something for even organizations that are heading such conversations to pick up, because you can imagine, yes, I love sports, but then there's money for me, but I don't get it. And I think Stacey has even mentioned it, that it starts from the grassroots, where there is money, but then kwa ground vitu wanasemanga kwa ground vitu vichenjanga na vichenjanga ni yangu. That's the next one. Oh my God, like I'm even speechless because and does it happen with also men, that male, how do I call them? The male teams. Yeah, the male teams. Is it the same with them matters pay?
It's all round. It's all round.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, Sis, just hearing from you, what do you think would be a call to action to not only the government, because charity begins at home. I want to call that out here. What would be a call to action even to the coaches who are down here? Matters pay, because kama kuna pesa na hainifiki, and then ours is to throw stones on the government. You're not doing this and this, but hapo kwa ground, it's starting from there.
Yeah, I can give an instance, like my university team, the male parts, they noticed that they are not receiving, like, we had no jerseys, new jerseys. So the males, because they had raised the issue, it was not dealt with. So they assembled their own money, bought a set of jerseys. Each of them you contribute towards your own jersey, and then you print it for yourself. So that is how they are surviving. As at them, they took the action. But the female part, we are still using the old sets. But a call to action to the coaches, let's just say that if it were told the money is there, why don't just give the players, even if it's something for the upkeep? Because I can give an instance. Let's say a player is injured. Sometimes the coaches would just say that, just go home, mzazi kupeleke hosi, and then you just go with your injury, let's say your knee, and you see how the leg part is currently critical. It's also sensitive and also expensive to treat. And from the coaches, and then, the representative or the CS, someone who is just responsible for the sports sector. If, I know funds are allocated to each and every, let's say, sector of our Kenyan economy. If the funds are there, why don't just channel it to the right parts? Because you can be impacting a life without knowing by just putting the effort in your role. Yeah.
Awesome. Onto my
last question. Now, let's say for the person viewing, and they're like, okay, we've spoken about sports, the advantages, the disadvantages, and maybe we'll even touch on the sexual harassment part in a few. Why sports? Like, you're coming to convince me as an insurance person, now sports, Marlene, go play sports. What would you tell a woman out there? What, even fitting, because we understand that your sports yes, as much as it's not paying, it may expose wamama wengine to spaces where they can debunk maybe the sexual violence they're facing at home or GBV. Yeah, like, me as a woman, advise me. Why should I join sports? Mm-hmm.
Sport is very important for me. Mm-hmm. I'll talk about self-defense. For example, you are being sexually harassed at home. Once you know how to defend yourself as a woman, so once you've been trained on how to defend yourself, so sport will help you. You know, people believe that women are we are weak, but once you have that skill, it will help you. So I'll urge the women to go for trainings. The organizations that are doing this sport thing, it is good for your own benefit. It also a stress reliever. It will make you fit, and you'll be also empowered. Yeah, and I know why most women don't love going for sports, because there is a say, when you were in high school, I remember I was so thin and nilikuwa nimenona, and I was playing number 5. That's defense. And people will just say that when you wanna cheza sport, especially women, ni maboy, like how ni wanaume. So that say also pia inafanyanga wasichana wasiende kwa sports. Sports are for women, for men. So kama inatu body shame. And I'll also speak about sexual harassment. Personally, I've been sexually harassed by the coaches. So there's a day I went, we had training somewhere in Kibra. And that day I came in late. And the coach didn't allow me to play simply because nilikata kuingia box yake. So since then, alianza kuniletea to like the attitude. So he even texted me kuniambia, you're not allowed to come back for the training. I was asking myself, why? Yet I have that passion. So sexual harassment also plays a very big role in sports. So that's why you will find out that some ladies are not going there because they've been through a lot. Yeah. But sport is good. Yeah. Sport is good. It is a stress reliever. And I can also speak about Polycom. When we were celebrating International Women's Day, ladies or young women were trained on self-defense. And I can proudly say that is through sports. And the person who was training us was a woman. Yeah. And you can remember you were there. And I can say that now I can defend myself, and I'm in that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, great. Ma'am Dorothy, maybe a different trajectory to this question. What would be your advice to the younger people who want to pursue sports, but they're hearing things as sexual harassment, watu hawalipwi, like all the contributing factors to don't join it? What would you say?
The negative aspects. Well, sport is a passion. And so you cannot convince or force someone to do sports if they are not interested. And so where your heart is, follow it. About sexual harassment, this is an all-rounder. It is even in offices. It is you get it in the formal and informal sectors. So it is not just in sports. So you have to be strong-willed to get yourself there. Now, about payments locally, we still, when you come in there, come in because you love the sport, you love what you're doing. That love comes first before the money aspect. And of course, you can come there with a focus that the beauty today is that you can play the sports internationally. Prove your worth here, and a club will pick you out there. It gives you scholarships. I mean, it's wide. Today, as opposed to then, we have a lot of sports scholarships. So when you come in there focused, trust me, I have seen a lot of people get scholarships, locally and internationally. In our colleges here, just to name USIU, Strathmore, they give a lot of sports scholarship. But you have to be good here and here.
Yeah.
On your feet and in your...
You must marry the two.
Yeah, you must marry the two, yes.
Awesome. Now on to our last. I know I've said last for the last 2 minutes. On to our last question. We've talked so much around like mtu atakuuliza kwanza what's there for me, and maybe hakuna, na ukweli maybe the government, of course it would be something that will happen overnight or in a twinkle of an eye. It's very gradual even if we start now. How can the listeners watching support women in sports? In what way? Stacey, would you want to start? In what way do you think the listeners on the other side would support women? And I believe support is not only monetary. Yeah, so...
First, I think there's need to support women in sports and also men in sports. And one support that they can offer to the female parts is media coverage and exposure. See, there are a lot of teams. Actually, speaking from a point of view of Kibera, there are a lot of teams, both female and male teams. And what they lack is exposure to the outside world. Because let's say the moment they're exposed to the media and social media, someone sports, and then from that point, someone can be assisted or maybe given a sponsorship to pursue whatever they wish, or to go to places they wish to travel to. And also one thing is just the support. The support is really important. Support comes from the home, from their friends, from supporting, cheering up their matches, because it's sometimes really saddening that we go for a game and then our game is scheduled after a male's game, and then when the males were playing, the stadium was full. But when we are playing, the players went with their fans, and then you're just there. I think first thing is the support is really important, and even if it's not financial support, also the presence and also the cheering. Yeah, you can do it, even if you're really down, but they're just giving you the psych. I think the support is really important for me.
How else can you support women?
Yeah, I will talk about, there are so many organizations that are supporting sports. So I'll urge the organizations that are out there supporting women. Kindly support our women, because when we come together, for example, when we have a match, we'll share a lot. We'll get to know each other. We'll share what we are going through as women, and we also learn from each other. So the organizations that are there, kindly support. Yeah. And also, these people, like the coaches, in Kibra, we really don't have those, the sports gears. Like, you'll find out that they were given yet, but we don't receive them, simply because the people who are taking care of them wamezipeleka home. So us, we are just there training with the rubber shoes, the slippers, but for them, they're just benefiting from those things. So I'll also talk about these coaches, at least change, because our girls, we really have that passion, but we are not really benefiting. Even not only money, but it helps us in with the mental health, everything. Sports makes us physically fit. It relieves stress. So once you are passionate about it, please go for it.
Yeah.
It will help you.
Yeah. Watu wa Gen Z, some buddies ziko kwa sports. So, Mom Dorothy, just tell us, how can women be supported, and also just your parting short. And maybe a shout out to someone who is doing such an amazing job in the sports. You can shout out yourself as well, because you're doing an amazing job.
Well, in a nutshell, I would say moral support, physical support, and emotional support. Just like Stacey has said that when the ladies are playing, the fans are less. I mean, that is something that we just have to live with. And so in major tournaments, many a times, not many a times, the ladies' finals come first, then the men's final comes second, so that they don't go away with the fans, just like you said. So they will start trickling in. By the time we get to the men's final, the stadium is full. And so that also allows you to support a team that was there. And my shout out. Who is this person? I love this man, Kipchoge. Ineos. 159.9. You can do it. Yes. So, I mean, when I am walking or training by the way, I still train and I still go to the gym.
Yes.
Yes. And so when I am doing my thing and I'm watching him, and I can do it. And the physical pain goes away, and the mental, strength gets in there, and, you just get strength from that.
Is there any shout out to someone who's doing an amazing job in the sports industry? And it doesn't have to be the big names, even locally.
There's Olunga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any lady? Now, we also have homework to do now.
Yeah.
Any shout out to anyone you know is doing an amazing job?
I want to give a shout out to Mom Dorothy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for being in sports then and also now, and still you're going to gym. It's encouraging, actually. Yeah. It's really encouraging for someone like me, because it takes dedication, it takes persistence, it takes patience to see the results. Yeah.
And it's beautiful that you can see it for yourself.
Yeah.
You can see the outcome.
And I can borrow some wisdom.
Awesome. So thank you so much for watching this podcast. I hear advocate for women. I hear advocate for women in sports.